As we expected, the beard will remain in Cleveland. It was only a matter of time before James Harden re-signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers, which ended up being a 3-year, $97 million contract, which we have to assume is probably his last contract in the NBA, unless these 3 years are up and he realizes he has a few more years in the tank, because his birthday is on August 26th. So when this contract expires, he'll be 40 years old. With this contract, he joins an exclusive group with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry, being the $500 million career salary earnings club. Now, to look back on recent years of James Harden, since he left Philly to head out west to LA and went up to Cleveland last year, his numbers have stayed a bit the same, while some things have changed. Now, after seeing his numbers in recent years with LA and now in Cleveland, it's good to see that his numbers are staying a bit the same as he gets older. In his 26 games in Cleveland, his scoring average dropped from 25 points per game down to 20 points. While on paper that seems like a fall off, you do have to take these numbers into context. In LA, he had to pick up a ton of slack, especially on those nights where Kawhi wasn't playing, and Harden had to play damn near 40 minutes a game and score a ton just for them to stay competitive. Now with this new cast in Cleveland, he has a lot more talent around him to where he doesn't have to be relied on as the main scorer every night, because he has Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and all that other talent around him. In LA, he was averaging around 35 minutes per game and having to shoot the ball 18 times. Then he joins Cleveland, still playing around the same amount of minutes, a couple minutes less, but he's only having to shoot the ball about 14 times per game. And with that, that's why the numbers are being dialed back on his points per game, because it's 4 less shots that he's having to take. The move from LA to Cleveland dropped his rebounds down from about 6 to 5. It kept his assists the same, which he was 4th in assists last year for the whole year, but his shooting percentage actually went up when he went to Cleveland, which is probably because he didn't have to shoot 4 to 5 extra shots per game. Now, even though James Harden is 36, about to be 37 years old, all of last season he was still 4th in assists and ranked 17th in scoring. This was definitely the right signing for both sides, the Cleveland Cavaliers and James Harden. Now with the addition of a young talent in Peyton Watson, hopefully they can go on a deeper run this year and find their way to the finals. If there's anything that James Harden needs to fix next postseason, it would be his shooting. Harden's best series shooting was in the first round against the Toronto Raptors. However, it did fall off from there. Against the Raptors, Harden shot 45 from the field and 37 from the 3. Then you get to the next series against the Pistons, and he shot 38% from the field, but only 29 from the 3. Then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Mind you, they were getting belt to ass every night and were swept in the series against the Knicks. However, James Harden continued to shoot 38% from the field, but he shot a measly 18% from the 3. On 28 attempts, James Harden only made 5 of those. Now, like I said, he has a lot more help in Cleveland than he did in LA, so there are more people that can pick up the slack for him. However, him going 5 for 28 in 4 games was probably a big factor in why they did get swept by the Knicks. And mind you, he was playing on the high end of his minutes against the Knicks. He played 37 minutes per game. However, that only equated to 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on a nightly basis. Now, while during the regular season he did shoot the 3 ball pretty well, hopefully Kenny Atkinson can realize that James Harden needs to dial it back in the postseason when it's not going well. In the end, it is good to see Harden return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, playing alongside Donovan Mitchell and now the young talent in Peyton Watson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below, what are your thoughts on Harden returning to the Cavs? Also, how far do you think the Cavs can go this season?